Oh yeah, JPrince coming at you live and in living color. Giving them the business with the homie Chris Gotti and Dinero. Live and in living color. Let's go.
Yeah, we're back. You know what I'm saying? I want to first give everyone a big shout out for liking, subscribing, sharing, giving them the business we here. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep supplying you with dope interviews, dope people that come on and great information. It's me, Chris Gotti Lorenzo, my partner, Don Dinero.
Que hola, Mr. Money for the Gringo.
Okay, we're live. You know how we do it. This is Black and Brown Things. You know what I'm saying? And today we have an extremely special guest today, man. I'm so happy I caught him. You know what I'm saying? We came to a little private location, you know what I mean, to get this interview, and I want to introduce JPrince. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah. What's up, New York? Let's give them the business today.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling them about. You know, we have a great relationship. I just kind of want to just thank you again personally for pulling up on last minute notice on some real nigga shit. You know how we do it. And again, I caught you, and you know we got some big fights coming in. If y'all don't know, JPrince is a fight. This guy, when you get into your boxing business, that to me is actually how we actually built our relationship, because you told me to go get Curtis Stevens. If you remember that. You wanted to sign Curtis, and then you said, man, I got Andre Ward. I'm good. Same weight division. You should sign Curtis, which I did. People don't know that, but that's actually how I got into boxing when I started. It's because of you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what started me and everything. But let's go back to the essence. I want to start right back to the beginning with you. I want to go back to Rap A Lot days, because you know what we do with Adventure Music. We try to empower independent artists so they know how to own, operate, and monetize their business. That's exactly what you did from Houston.
Yeah.
What's that? Which ward?
Fifth Ward.
I know.
Ward.
I know. Fifth Ward.
Yeah.
5-1, the 4-1 for the 4-1. That's how dice talk. But you know what I'm saying? The Fifth Ward, coming right out of Fifth Ward with all of this music being very scarce. Like you talking about an era where hip hop was very scarce. It was so hard to penetrate. How did you formulate a plan to actually execute to get that to actually come about from Houston, from out of Fifth Ward?
Yeah, that was a long story, but let me try to explain that as short as I possibly can. Of course, you know, you all being from New York,
Yeah.
y'all know this is where all the smoke and everything was taking place. You know, you can walk down in Manhattan and different things, maybe see CBS,
Yeah.
Columbia, you know, all the big major record labels. You know, a lot of the people at Def Jam had access to the power, you know. And
Right.
even on the West Coast, they had access to power of those big buildings and those majors, the existence of those majors.
Right.
Down in the South, we had no such thing, you know what I mean? And, you know, it was a situation where my hand was forced to a certain extent, because I did reach out to some of the major record labels, and they didn't believe in our movement. They felt like, you know, at the time it was
If I ask what year we talking, so that they know roughly. Could be rough. It don't need a time frame.
89.
Okay, 89. There we go.
And we were gutter. You know, this shit was, you know, Run DMC was rocking about Rock the Bell, and we came with some shit like Let a Hoe Be a Hoe, and you know, a lot of gutter shit.
Big facts. It was EVs from the truck, right?
It wasn't popular to be so gutter with it.
You ain't gonna talk about Run DMC right here. I'm from Miles College. Listen to me. They evolved to some of that rock and roll stuff, but their first records wasn't that. So what broke them wasn't that. They went out. They started chasing the money, and I get it. Shout out Run and Joe, man.
Oh, they want I first understand that Ryan and Jay, I put Ron in his first Rolls Royce, And I sold Jam Master's first Rolex. So no criticism whatsoever. I was inspired. The whole Def Jam movement. This was inspirational to me. But I got to keep it real. You know what I mean? We was on a different frequency.
Yeah.
And people wasn't embracing it.
You know, just in New York, we was on different frequencies. Where the way you rapped in Harlem wasn't the way you rapped in Brooklyn. It wasn't the way you rapped in the Bronx, and it wasn't the way you rapped in Queens. So I get it. You all the way over in Houston.
Yeah.
So of course you on your own time and your own way about talking about, acting about things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's fire though.
Yeah, no, it was a real situation which brought us to the challenges and different things that we had to deal with where business was concerned. You know what I mean? Because majors wasn't trying to embrace us. You know, Geffen Records, who disowned our whole movement, you know, even though rock and roll artists was kicking the same lyrical content,
Right.
but they didn't want nothing to do with Rap-A-Lot and the Ghetto Boy.
In the way they talked, rapped.
Yeah.
Man, and that perception is everything.
Yeah.
Again, dude, for me to give you a New York vibe of what we was thinking when we found out about Rap-A-Lot, because we was watching all the labels and everything. Again, if someone would have asked me back in those days what JPrince looked like, I thought you was 6'4", 250. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. That's the truth. We didn't on social media, right? This before social media. I didn't know. I just heard things in the way y'all was talking, and man, your mind starts visualizing something, and man, you was a giant.
Yeah.
You was a giant and I'm pretty sure everyone else until they've actually seen you, they were like, oh man.
Yeah.
You know, I talk about that day when I had to come out to the ranch. That's the first day we came in.
Yeah.
Because that day, I was with Prem. Shout out Prem, you know what I'm saying? And I was with Prem, and we got to go see you about the music and everything. And all I kept remember saying to myself was, this shit is all about this nigga. Yeah. Because I was like, when I first met you, I was like, we come all the way to the ranch. It's a little bit of way to go. Everyone told me, don't go to the ranch, whatever you do. And I found myself like, now come back. So I get out there, but this is a true story. This South Valley, and I was with Black. Shout out Black, B1, my nigga. He was like, I can't help you. That's the big homie. I was like, oh man. So, but when I get there, I'm waiting, and it's got to be about 40, maybe 50 dudes all around the whole ranch. But I'm sitting there waiting, and I'm like, fuck, this nigga know I'm here. Why he got me waiting? Like, I came a long way. I flew in, and I had to drive all the way. This is exactly what was in my head. No bullshit, no. And I sat there, and I said, yo, which one of y'all JPrince? And then someone said, I'm going to go get him. And they went and got you. And when I first seen you, my first thought was, I can't believe this shit is all over this nigga right here. That's a fact. And me and Prem was ready to, whatever it was to transpire without knowing the gentleman again. And I promise you, I'm not saying that. You handled everything like a gentleman since I ever met you. You hold people accountable to words, though.
Oh, yeah.
And that's something that I tell everyone. I said, your accountability is because you put yourself in those positions.
Yeah. No, I definitely believe life and death is in the tongue. You know what I mean? I believe that it's important for a man's yes to mean yes and his no to mean no. And it's so beautiful that, heart, when a man has a heart in him, size don't matter. You know what I mean? Because the heart makes up all the difference. And I'm glad I'm a man of my word, and it has followed me everywhere I went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, to go back to once you get into the Rap-A-Lot, and what was the first break and that made you say, I could do this?
Yeah, the first break, man, actually was coming here. To New York. I came to New York.
And big city of dream.
Yeah, opportunity to get a close up with my eyes. What Russell, Leon, all of them was doing at the time, because, at the time I was distracted by a lot of hustle and bustle, in the city, and I had opportunity to travel here. I actually moved my company in Newark Yeah, no, you know, I actually moved them here because, you know, I was investing in somebody else's dream and vision. So I'm like, oh, if y'all want to go there, okay. Huntington, Newark. That's the name.
Yeah,
Huntington.
Huntington, yeah.
Yeah. So when I came down, I had an opportunity. I'm like, I'm going to New York and sit with Leo, and I want to see what was happening. Yeah, and it was then I was exposed to the checks of LL Cool J, Houdini. You know what I mean? I saw these checks and I saw these numbers on these checks. The other first time.
Yeah. Oh, it could happen like this. They make money. Yeah. They get checks.
Yeah, that's what got my attention. And as I studied the movement, I clearly understood that, you know, the people that were working for me was following the movement of New York.
Right.
And that's when I made my decision. I say, let's go home. I uprooted everything against all of them. You know, nobody, you know, believed that was the right thing to do. I'm like, y'all following, you know, New York. That's they shit.
That's right.
I'm like, let's go home and be us. Let's do what we do. And that's when I had to clean the whole slate because everybody wanted to follow, nobody wanted to lead. And my mindset was, let's be us. Let's not be afraid to be country. Let's not be afraid to let our goals show and talk our shit and speak our lingo. Let's be us. And that was the beginning. That mentality, you know, where I had a clean slate. Imagine, you know, all the artists that was there on the leave and telling me, oh man, you too deep. Because that's when I started writing.
Right.
I didn't.
People don't know that. People don't know that about you, that you actually made records, wrote records.
I wrote this shit. I didn't know how to make it rhyme, but I understood that the stories y'all trying to tell how to live.
Whose voice is it that was saying on the album, on the Ghetto Boys album, it said, I'm a rebellious nigga, I'm gonna wiggle my ass.
That's the one and only Larry.
That's the yes. I'm shout out Larry, man. I always telling that story.
So when you came to New York, do you think some of the business practices you did take back with you?
Oh, most.
The business you did, but you said, if I stay here, I'm gonna lose my culture. And what you're saying, my sound, because you guys had a sound.
Yes.
I think that was the key, right? You would have lost your sound, and then I don't think it would have been the label that ended the historic label where it is today.
Hey, most definitely.
Okay.
I give all the credit. And I tell everybody, you know, because a lot of people are seeing individuals that's succeeding and become jealous of. I tell them I wasn't jealous of Russell and Leo. I was inspired. You know what I mean? They motivated me.
Right.
To this day, you know, my respect is there because I know how they stirred my gumbo up. You know what I mean? I just went, you know what they did for you? Put my own rooting in it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I was inspired by those brothers. So forever, you know, I salute them.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So once you get the rap a lot music going and everything, and then you start seeing you could be, because I give you the credit for being the best independent label. I don't count Cash Money. I give Cash Money as the best record label ever. And I'm Murder Inc., as you know. And we put our number up.
Yeah.
Death Row put their number up. Bad Boy put their numbers up. But I give, and even No Limit, but I give Cash Money the best record label for us.
Yeah.
If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Ever. But they had the support of Universal from the door.
Yeah.
You, on the other hand, didn't. And that's why I give you the best independent label ever. And I mean, the historical facts of what you posted up and how you did it. Again, because it's not like today where we could use the phone and everyone knows where you at and promote. If you had to promote something, you had to go there. You had to do it. You had to pay that money and get everyone out there. Street team. How big was your street team?
Oh, man, major. But before even touching up on the street team, you know, Cash Money, No Limit, Tony Draper.
Tony Draper, Swisher House. Yeah, there's a lot. I don't want to be disrespectful, man. They all big.
Yeah. But then with my students,
right?
You know what I mean? I inspired them.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They came out of their own mouths. So, you know, it's almost like Michael Jordan and Kobe. You know what I mean? But for sure, they took things to a different level. And I'm proud of No Limit, Cash Money, Draper, Swiss House, and all the rest down south for doing.
Yeah, because you gave them the belief it could.
Inspired them. Inspired.
They seen, again, he came and said Russell and Leo
Inspired him.
inspired him. But again, you know, I don't want to get into that, but I fuck with Russell. I don't, but at the end of the day, you inspired the rest of them to say, man, if Jay's doing it, I can do it. And that's everything. You know, that's what we here for.
Yeah, no, we definitely inspire one another because, like you say, along their movement, you couldn't help but to be inspired by them taking things to a totally different levels.
Right.
You know, the feeling is mutual. You know what I mean? Ain't no I and we. You know what I mean?
What he said, you know, I and we, but there's an I and win. And that's Kobe line. That was a Kobe Bryant line. Shout out Bean, man. You know, with that being said, after you get through your music and then you start, like, what got you into boxing? Because people may not understand how much influence you have in boxing.
Yeah.
You know, you probably are behind. There's a few names. I don't want to. Promoters are different than managers. So you probably only have one name that I could think of that I would even put in your category, and that's Al Heyman.
Yeah. You know, boxing was always like my first love.
Yeah.
That's something I wanted to do before the music.
Before music. Was you doing it
Professionally box or get into the boxing?
No, I wanted to box.
Oh, I get it.
But it wasn't a boxing facility in my community, and that's why I built a boxing gym. That's why I built a recreation center in my hood, because I didn't have access to that. And I'm like, if I ever make it and get some money, this is going to be my token where I'm going to give back.
The only problem I've ever had with boxing is I don't mind a problem hitting people in the face. Getting hit in the face is a whole
like a good back.
That's a whole different ball.
They take a different animal to accept being hit in the face. Boxes are like the most unique. I was just with Floyd. Shout out Floyd. He was at the Earn Your Leisure joint. I know they interviewed you before too. Shout out Rashad and Troy. Those are my boys. And at the end of the day, I was with Floyd. You know, he's always shows nothing but love. I still beating him in dominoes. He know that. Yeah, he loved the dominoes, right? But at the end of the day, you know, you was the first person to actually bring me to Floyd. Again, people don't know, like, again, Diego Corrales, God bless the dead, you know what I'm saying? Winky Wright, who was at the ranch that day. I told Winky he lucky. Yeah, I said, you lucky, boy. You lucky you was there that day there, man.
But you know what, a lot of people may not know this, what caused me to really diversify, you know, I always wanted to get into boxing, but I was under attack by the feds. You know what I mean? They got at me like real tough, to the extent where everybody was leaving my building. It was, you know, under a major attack, you know, that was led by this guy, Chad Scott and Jack Schumacher. And it was then.
These are two federal agents you talking about.
Federal agents.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? One of them, you know, I put the spotlight on him years ago. One happened to be locked up. They arrested him last year, over a decade after I put the spotlight on. But this is the point I was making. It was the attack from them of attacking my business and erupting, you know, my daily activity of the things I was doing, where I decided to diversify my portfolio and get into boxing. You know what I mean? I wanted all of them to know I wasn't one-dimensional. And, you know, while y'all attacking me, stopping me from making a living here, I'm going to diversify my game. And that's what, you know, took me over to boxing and built a recreation.
That's a beautiful. That's also because it was rap, because it was still really attacking hip-hop. You was mobile coming up with, and the majority of what income was coming from hip-hop, correct?
Yeah, most definitely. I always got attacked from rap and hip-hop from day one.
From day one.
You know what I mean? Because I was like on the island. I was like in Houston. Like in New York, y'all had a movement with an outer rap shrinking place. I was on like a private island where, you know, when niggas got together, you classified as a gang.
Right. Yeah, just
classified as something illegal.
Immediately. You know, it's funny. It's funny you mentioned it, diversifying your portfolio, because that's exactly what happened to me. I was ignorant to when the feds came in for us.
Yeah.
And Urbs was ignorant too. We both didn't know we was under investigation, that we really had to financially pay for lawyers and all of these things, and we wasn't charged with a crime.
Yeah.
So I'm watching a year go by, no money's coming in from music.
Yeah.
Because they basically made Universal cooperate with them, and they stopped all the bread. They moved strategic.
Oh, yeah.
And then they kept doing it, and I'm sitting there like, no money's. And that's actually the same time with the boxing, and got me into boxing, and got me into sports management, I started doing hedge funds and started doing insurance business, just to diversify my portfolio so it ain't just coming from one, and they can't stop it all.
Yeah.
And it also shows them that another thing is, we not no dummies.
Yeah.
You can't just do that.
Yeah.
And what you're saying is the exact same thing. Whether they want to admit it or not is they proud. But you being able to diversify your portfolio proves that you have one thing, and that's a brain.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. Like, I did the same thing. I'm like, I'm not just stuck to music. I can do anything.
Exactly.
And I didn't go to school. I mean, I don't think you did either.
Well, I went to high school.
Well, high school. High school, 5 years for me in high school.
But the beauty of it is that, some of the most brilliant, homies and niggas in the world are not college graduates.
That's right.
You know what I mean? But the whole unique thing about Murder, Inc. and Rap-A-Lot that I want, the present, the past, and the future to know, and this is why they should zero in so strongly to every word you speak.
Yes.
Because this exact movement is taking place all over
again.
It's the same exact attack of racketeering and different things is taking place all over again. And you all have a track record of beating them.
Yes.
For the very thing that they accuse y'all of.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And you beat them and you won because it was a setup.
It's a setup.
You know what I mean? It was the devil that was exercising racism. You know what I mean?
That's what I was going to tell you. When you talk about rap, they didn't know rap. They didn't understand what we did and how we made money.
Yeah.
I found that out from all the investigations of my federal agents that was on me. They didn't understand the way we talk. And imagine y'all. They really don't know how y'all talk. That's why, one second, Dinero, that's why they have to get someone to infiltrate, to explain what we say, how we walk, talk, everything. Because they have no clue about our culture. They learn from us. And that if people understood that that's really how they take everybody down, is because we working with them to help them learn about us to take us down.
Yeah.
Because that's what there's no doubt in my mind back then, in those days, they knew anything about rap music. They didn't understand it. When rap music started, they was like, this shit ain't gonna last. And they threw us peanuts. Nothing. Now we control the world.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing is, it was so much deeper, even though rap was the subject at hand, it was so much deeper than rap. It was the same racism that existed before rap.
Yeah.
That's that we blacks and we niggas.
Yes.
And they want to destroy a movement that's actually real fruitful today. They saw this day coming.
Oh, yeah.
Believe it or not. They saw everything that's happening coming to fruition, and their plan was to stop it. So they want to destroy Murder, Inc.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the devil's whole mission. We're going to destroy them. We're going to destroy Rap-A-Lot. We're going to destroy Death Row. We're going to destroy the brains behind the movement, because ain't no movement without the brain.
Without the brain.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I'm just going to say something.
We mentioned education in that era. I think at the time, majority of these individuals we speaking about, let's say that they're not our skin color. We'll leave it at that, right?
Yeah.
But you can imagine these people who have gone to schools. We mentioned we only maybe finished high school. Some of us haven't. And you're sitting and you're making millions of dollars, right? Legitly. Yeah, now we're legit. Now we've crossed over the money from a residual aspect. Where CDs are selling in the stores, you're sitting in your office making money. That has to rub certain people the wrong way.
Okay.
Because that's actually happening in Dominican Republic right now as we speak, with all the, like when you see the movement, the urban movement in the Islam countries moving, and at the same time, besides the prejudice behind it, is an economic aspect to it. Because the first thing they did is they hit you where it hurt with the money. So they're saying, wow, not only are they not educated, they can
turn that faucet off.
With money comes not just power, it comes where I can do what I want. And when you understand this the true system of you could lawyer yourself up. See, we could, let's be honest, we know we're straight, we're legit, and we have good lawyers. So it's a different spiel when you understand the laws. And someone like yourself, and I tell Chris, the power thing, you guys, is the power of educate.
Yeah.
See, before there wasn't social media, and when I watch your social media, and I see the things you post, and also Chris, there's so much education in your words, and I think that's the power.
Yeah.
You know, take the main.
Likely down here, they fear that.
Of course, of course, it's,
You know, I could sit there and say to the feds when they would on me, they would come to the house and they would tell me, you going right in, because they couldn't believe that you making this money and still fucking with the people from back home.
Yeah.
They want you to leave.
Oh,
If I'm telling you, if y'all understand that is exactly what they want you to do. You good. You gonna stand next to Preem?
Yeah.
You gonna stay there with him and you making hundreds of millions of dollars? They couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
They couldn't believe there's no way in the world they could fathom that we wasn't gonna roll over and talk about whatever we had to talk about, which is not to them. And that's what they could not believe. They could not believe that. And that's, I'm sure, is the same. They looking at how much money you generate, and you still in the Fifth Ward fucking with these motherfuckers.
Oh.
You must be doing something, bro.
Oh yeah.
They used to ask me if I'm trying to build a gang,
Yeah.
like an army, because why you only hire ex-cons? I said, why you mad?
Yeah.
I'm doing something that's great, in my opinion.
and taking them off the street.
I'm giving them a shot, an opportunity, actually, like, to live a real life, pay taxes, and be a legitimate citizen according to y'all law, and that's what they are.
Yeah.
And you still mad. It's no winning.
You know, you telling the God's honest truth, man. That's what make this conversation so real.
Yeah.
This ain't no made up shit.
No.
Just like you told your side of the truth. I have a side.
Right.
You know, where they personally came to me and asked me to leave the hood. Why you coming to the hood?
I know that without.
Why you know what I mean, dealing with these people? My answer to that was, man, I'd rather be dead than disown the people that the creator that put the spirit in me,
Man,
to help and
I can't turn my back on my people.
no,
That's the line.
but people that's not from the hood don't understand and don't want to understand that kind, because what happens is when one is bright enough and know how to think, then he calls others to know how to think.
That's right.
And all of a sudden we have a movement of thinkers. You know what I mean? We have a movement that's taking place where I pull Truth in a Cash Money, Tony Draper, Master P, now, all these moguls are coming together, and there's a movement going on.
And that's what's
Like a fire.
You know what? See what you just said? They shine your movement right there.
Yeah, so they want to kill that shit before it come to fruition, because they understand, because of the people that came before us ignited these movements. So they understand the power of these movements.
Right.
So they try to destroy that. So when I embrace a Larry Hoover, you know what I mean?
Yes, let's get into Larry.
Yeah, when I embrace a Larry Hoover, against them telling me, what they threats, if you put this out, this gonna happen, this gonna happen, this gonna happen. And then I said, well, fuck it, let it happen, because it's true that he done told me I want all my brothers and sisters to hear this truth. You know what I mean? Some truths, believe it or not, are worth dying for, or whatever the consequences may be. That's the way I feel about it.
That's right.
And when
You like the liars got underneath.
yeah, but they don't like niggas that think like that. And all of their life, they wanted to destroy them kind.
That's right.
So I understand what come with it. You know what I mean? I understand as I sit here and
When you make it, as long as you sell out to them, they can control you. When they can't control you, they can have a situation.
I understand as I sit here right now, every word coming out of my mouth, right? I understand that I'm a target.
Right.
You know what I mean? I understand tomorrow this time, you know what I mean? The United States versus any motherfucker is in a bad position. Spooky, but my mindset and how I take, if God be for me, who could be against me? So I stand on that. I stand on that no weapon formed against me shall prosper from day one all the way up until now.
That's right.
And whatever, I believe that.
Yeah.
You
live that.
die about it.
You live that.
You know what I mean? So when one at the end of the day asks, what am I about? That's what I'm about.
Right.
You know what I mean? All that other shit y'all want to lie about and play with, y'all go ahead and play with that. But on solid rock, I stand. Yeah.
That's what's up. So again, since we brought up Larry, I wanted to ask you about, I know that concert. How did that transpire? How did that come about with Larry Hoover, the concert with Drake and Kanye, and that whole event there?
Yeah. Let me say this before I even answer any of that. Like, you know, my man Chris right here, like I have turned down interviews with LA Times, you know, Rolling Stone, all of them, because, you know, they don't really deserve to have this before. This is my brother, and my friend, right?
That's right.
So as I sit here today, I understand why I'm sitting here, and I understand what I'm doing and what I'm saying, and I'm gonna answer that question.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was a vision. That was a situation where, you know, our brother Larry Hoover,
He was down in the ADX with Preem.
Right.
Preem was first in the ADX. Till I actually got a little kite back and forth because, you know, ADX, they don't let you. That's my only activity. It was a little message sent back.
yeah,
from
this brother, man, is such a brother of vision. You know what I mean? Until even all the way in there, you know, he sent an idea of, you know, why not, you know, have these brothers to come together, because Kanye come from that crop.
Yep.
A lot of people don't know. You know what I mean? I didn't even know to a certain extent until he let me know, man. I couldn't have never even became who I became if this man don't, you know, put his arm around me through individuals or whatever.
That's right.
And he was solid enough to not forget about that. You know what I mean? So it was that mindset that, you know, after I got the message that, you know, he envisioned them coming together versus being enemies in front of everybody, you know, I fertilized and watered it.
Right.
There you go. And executed the concept, the idea, you know, why don't y'all come together in the face of everybody that think this can't be done? Let's show them it can be done. You know what I mean? To inspire them to where fuse and different shit is concerned in the future, we can deal with it on a whole different page. That was the whole motive and meaning behind that.
Man, you know, because I get all, you know, I'm like, everyone, when it pertains to you, for some reason that I get the call from everybody. Yo, what's up with your man? Yo, what's this about? What's that about? I'm like, you know, I'm always backing, you know, I stand on your side all the time. You know that. Me and you will have a call. I'll be like, yo, what's this? What's going on? Is everything good? Just want some check-in. We got, again, check-in time. Like people talk that check-in. I wanted to talk about the check-in situation because in my opinion, I check in all the time, but I don't take it how these people take it.
Yeah.
Or that to me is what you're supposed to do. If I come into your city, another part of the country, and I'm there, why wouldn't I call a friend and say, yo, I'm here? See, they make it like it's extortion, and I never use it. I never like that check-in because I tell everyone I check in there everywhere I go. I just got off tour. Every city I went to, I'm checking in with my home. What's up? I'm here. What we doing tonight? Where we going to eat? What you doing? You got a minute? If not, I'm over here. You know, that to me is what checking in is, but they took it and put it in a different place. But how do you look at this check-in?
You know, they have like really fucked that word up.
Yeah, they sure, you know, that's the fact. We had to ensure they very much spreads.
Just keep it real.
That's a fact.
Our understanding of it was wrapped around respect.
That's it.
Was wrapped around relationship.
That's
You
it.
know what I mean? They understanding along with the feds is wrapped around extortion, wrapped around some other shit that never existed.
To me, it's only for the weak. That is the what maybe someone that doesn't have any power or resources or just fear theyself. They have nothing about theyself because even a weak person doesn't have to succumb to these things, right? So if someone's going to extort you and you was willing to deal with it for whatever your reasons may be, that's on you. That's where the check-in came in, but I just don't let it. I never liked the check-in side. We have relationships.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We have relationships, and I wanted to ask you again with that check-in because there's a multiple things. Again, I appreciate this interview that took place, and part of that was being said to me with checking in, and that's with Takeoff.
Yeah.
God bless Takeoff. We're saying great. God bless the great artist. You know what I'm saying? And everyone said, if he checked in, how did that happen?
Yeah.
But again, if you don't mind explaining that, if you know what I'm saying, if that makes sense.
You know, that's a real sensitive issue, and I hadn't spoke.
And you wasn't there.
Yeah, no, I wasn't there, but I hadn't even spoken about it publicly at all. But, you know, I'm going to address that tonight.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And let me just say this. Quavo and my son is like best friends.
Right.
They got a real close.
You talking about Jazz?
Jazz.
Shout out Jazz.
Real close relationship.
Yeah.
So, you know, all that check-in shit where he concerned, Takeoff concerned, is a lie. None of it ever facts. You know what I mean? They've been there, like, I can't even count on my fingers how many times they've been there. And, you know, we embrace them. And when we go to their place, they embrace us.
Facts.
So there's a mutual situation right there. So as far as, you know, the lies, you know, I call them media whores. Well, because there's a lot of media whores out there that, you know, that's what they do. They whore for a living. And you can't be mad at whores that if that's the way they choose to make their money.
Yeah.
But it's important to not live a lie and embrace a lie. And as far as them checking in or us extorting them or any of that kind of shit, it's like a lie from here, man. Them our brothers.
Yeah, that's family.
Yeah.
See, I know that. I know.
Say something with the checking in because I think people don't understand. Most people don't travel. They don't understand.
Well, they don't leave their block.
They don't leave their block. So we have to understand when you go into these cities. I'll give you an example. Let's say you play basketball. You're a college basketball player. You play for University of Miami and you have a game in Cali. You might have a buddy who's in Cali. You call him up. Yo, I'm coming to town.
Yeah.
I want to see you. I want to spend time with you. That's checking in, right? If you travel outside, I'm not going to go to Dallas or Ohio knowing I have a relationship with you. I'm going to be in town for 3 days. And now, Corey, I want to know what the best restaurants are. I want to know who got the best fire. I need to smoke. That's you calling your peoples to say, hey, I need you to host me. I'm coming to your town, and then vice versa. And when you travel in this business, in this hip hop, if you guys don't understand it, you have to hit the road in order to promote your music. And unfortunately, besides the radio stations, you got to hit these clubs. And unfortunately, in this game that we're in, hip hop, there's certain precautions that you have to take when you're going to certain. That's all we're doing. We're looking out, protect. But it ain't it's basically, hey, I'm in your town.
You know, that's cool.
That friendship, that love, that's what it is. If you don't travel, I think that's where people get it wrong. They don't go anywhere. So like, well, I got to call him whenever time, because what are you going to do? You want to go see your friend. You want to make sure you're eating, you're connected, you feel comfortable. Like right now, we picked him up. He know he's with you. We're good. That's what we do. It's hard to get the regular human person to,
because of this social media thing, but that's what we're trying to.
That's what we try to do now.
We want to clear that up.
Not only the social media, you have, you know, the feds. You need different people that's working in the background.
Yes.
You know, snitches and different things that want that to be more than what it is. They want one, you know, paint the portrait as extortion.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even if one bless somebody for looking out for them, oh, they extorted you. You gave them that because of extortion. So they got a whole different agenda.
Yeah.
That's surrounding our business. You know what I mean? That they're trying to.
Yeah.
Man, that was the basis of everything with us, with Preem. They wanted to act like that man was in our pockets, that he was forcing us. I said, man, that man ain't never been nothing but be a gentleman from the day one we met. And in a relationship built just like any other relationship from day to day, event to event, and then the relationship gets stronger and stronger.
Yeah.
He only helped.
You know, it's a hell of a stigma, man, that, you know, a lot of these feds and different things have about people that want to change. You know what I mean? They want to arrest you for doing a crime, but when you try to change, they still want to arrest you.
That's right.
You know what I mean? It's almost like a no-win situation. And I witnessed this up close, afar, they don't want a nigga to change.
They don't want.
You know what I mean? They want to keep they want to keep their feet on your neck until all the air is out of you, like George Floyd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like real shit.
That's real shit. You know, and I hate these talk with some of these because it just puts me in a bad place of mindset with everything going on. But I wanted to go back to, aside from the check-in, it was another point that happened that night, you know, that I wanted to ask you about with, I believe it was Junior. They said he walked by. What is that all about?
Yeah. You know, one of the biggest lies that was told, you know.
Shout out Junior, man.
Yeah. JPrince, my son, he come out of his right bag. But, you know, the thing is, like, you know, one of the biggest lies that was told, he walked by, you know, take off body as if he was heartless and didn't care. In reality, you know, Junior, my cousin Michael Prince, that's here with me.
Shout out Mike.
You know what I mean? They was there with Takeoff from the beginning to the end. You know what I mean? You know, even when they walked by, the walk by part, it took 3 seconds of an hour in some situation when Mike and Junior was walking by. He actually went in the restroom to wash blood off his hand where he had reached up under Takeoff. He had to pick him up and his fingers went in it, you know,
Wow.
blood went on. So he was only going to the restroom to wash the blood off his hand and came right back. They took a 3-second piece of lie. This is what they do.
That's right. That's how they twist everything.
Yeah. They took 3 seconds of a whole situation, man, and told a blatant lie. And the truth about it is, you know, you got so many people that's weak-minded, you know, today until you know, a lie, you know, is the truth. They embrace a lie like it's true.
Well, you know, we've seen it in our community how they always divide and conquer. That's the same. So that's really, to me, how they want to position it. They want to pose doubt. They already, again, you've been winning a long time. And no one want to see the winner just stay winning. They want a chance at that crown too, bro.
That's real. That's real. I was telling the homies, Christian, there's a story of, you know, a OG told me.
Yeah.
He said, you know, people get tired of walking outside looking up the light pole and seeing a flag every day. They have to look up and see that flag. And he said, that's the way they feel about, you know, a man that's being successful for a long time. They walk out and look up and see his ass. They walk up and see his ass every day. So they begin to have a problem with looking up seeing his ass. So I guess they tired of seeing my ass at the top. In reality, they should be inspired. I'm one of them. I come from where they come from.
Right. You too can do that.
I know the blueprint of doing it.
No, that's a fact, you know. But, you know, we do have in our communities a lot of crabs in the barrels. Again, this is always, like I told you before, this is for me, black and brown. I always, Dinero's a Cuban. He does all the Latin side of what I do. And again, I'm on the black side of what we do. And then we combine because we both communities need that help. We need to understand these things because if we stick together, they in trouble. There's nothing that we can't do.
Who came up with the name rapper? You know, because we know the behind how your brother came up with murder.
Yeah.
I don't think no one's asked you, but I think about that's such a dope
Rap a lot.
Rapper lie. Who came up with it? I said, again, that's an iconic label.
Yeah.
Who came up with the name?
Yeah, well, my brother's name was Sir Rap-A-Lot. So I give him the credit where that's concerned. You know, I just stole from.
You just took off the.
Yeah, that was his thing.
So that's it. So Rap a lot. There it is. That's dope. That is a dope name for a regular rap label, like crazy Rap a lot. Wreck.
All I could ever hear is that one ding 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 ding. That's forever.
Timeless. Yeah, we did a Tales movie. You had to approve us for. Appreciate that. I know Irv appreciate. Shout out Irv. You heard?
What's up?
Oh
man.
Yeah. So again, with that, go back and I still have another line for you for this whole situation, this travesty that happened out there. Because you know, I know the family. I know I know the nephews.
Yeah.
I know how tight they are with everybody. They move around with like that. But the world doesn't, and I understand that too. I do understand the world not understanding everything ain't for them.
Right.
With that being said, you know, there was another little issue with the flowers.
Yeah.
You know, that was sent out. And how do you, like, whose responsibility was that for, and what happened with that?
Yeah. Well, the flower situation was a family plus florist situation where the intent of that was to show respect to their family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We didn't go to the funeral because I didn't want to be a distraction
Yeah.
or disrespect anybody
It's the spec.
at a moment like that. So we chose to come up with a creative idea where Houston, H-Town, and the Prince family was extending, you know, a token of respect to take
Condolences.
but here's the thing, the condolences. When a person is looking for some bullshit, it's, you know, they can find bullshit in Jesus. And they tell me he was perfect. But, you know, if that's what you're looking for, that's what you're searching for, then you can come up with different reasons to point a finger and point the blame or whatnot. But, you know, we know within our heart and the intent of what we done was out of respect.
Right.
I gained nothing by trying to get any kind of glory off a deceased man.
That's right.
I mean, I got more money than I could spend. You know what I mean? I don't need to have that type of publicity to gain anything.
Well, that
And plus, I got too much respect for the family. You know what I mean? That just, anybody know me and mine, we ain't about that.
That's right.
That sucker shit like that. But, you know, by the same token, I understand if one, you know, is looking for something dark, you know what I mean? It's easy to tap into dark as well as the light.
Man. I believe I just have one last thing to ask you, maybe two. You know, but, you know, through all of these trials and tribulations, is there ever any time in your mind that you say, I got to do something different?
You know, I always try to diversify and do different things differently. You know, one of my reasons for getting in the boxing business was to kind of get away from the music business because, you know, I felt like I had devoted, you know, a lot of years where music is concerned, and I understand that the music industry is a tough business. So I understand what's going on with that toughness. You know what I mean? So my reasons for diversifying in boxing was to have more peace. You know what I mean? To be able to go to a boxing show.
Ain't that ironic? You going to boxing for peace. One of the most violent.
And in the midst of the song. But here's what I understood. I understood that it wasn't no shootouts going on in a boxing facility. I understood that it was a disciplined sport. I understood the sacrifices and different things that fighters made to even come to get to that night of fight.
Right.
No drinking, no.
Probably opposite with an artist didn't do it. You know, Dylan Price, I was just talking to Dylan Price. This is a young boy, boxer. And I was just telling him, we was talking about sacrifice. Because when I look at Floyd, if any boxers out there, he's probably someone that you should pattern yourself after if you want to take it to the pinnacle and the heights of what he did. And that's something, again, that I was talking to Dylan about. You know, shout out Dylan, you know what I mean? But young boy coming up, young bull, you know what I mean? And the sacrifices fighters need to make to get to the levels they need to get to, is something that is very formidable for them to do. Necessary, absolutely necessary. And it's the same when we talk music, the sacrifice we make is just different in a different space, different form. But we make a ton of sacrifice, music, boxing. It doesn't matter what business you're making, so you got to sacrifice something. That's, again, to go to my Bible out, Dinero, you want something, you have to give something up. That's the sacrifice.
The game of advice, low 5 holes and 8 pegs. What are you leaving out? That's can't happen. Oh, the ladies, you want a man with money? He ain't gonna be home at 5 o'clock with the kids. Right? You weren't willing to give up to, and most of us are not willing to sacrifice. We want to take for us to drive, we drive to Texas about 26, 27 hours, right?
Yeah.
So let's say the journey in your life is from New York to Texas. Everyone wants to go from New York to Texas in an hour. You can't even do it on a plane. It still takes you 4 years to graduate high school. The most patient one will stay with the entire kingdom. That's, so I think the key to life is that. It's just, I just felt it wasn't willing to give up.
You brought him back.
Sacrificed a lot to be the man. People don't understand what it took or what it takes to be Chris Gotti.
Yeah. Everybody wants his story, but Lord.
You told me that, whether you know it or not, Jay, you told me patience.
Yeah.
You taught me about that from actually when we first was losing our music to this man because we had a producer to him. But when I spoke to him after we got better acquainted, know each other, and started building our relationship, I asked him, and he said to me, it wasn't, I said, why didn't you come in when you first heard about it? Because I was like, when did you hear about Seven was with Murder Ray? He said, well, I heard about it as soon as he was over there. And he waited.
Yeah.
Seven started making so many hit records.
Chess.
It's chess, not checkers. And again, he taught me that. That's something that I really learned, I could say, directly from that situation in yourself, because you explained it to me to make me really understand why you waited.
Yeah.
And again, he's like, I seen her. I'm not going to interrupt that.
Yeah.
And sure enough, Seven made a lot of hit records.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Jay said, hey, it's time to come in.
Yeah.
That's mine.
No, it's beautiful. All the life is like full of learning experiences, man. And that's why, even as I sit here, I'm so proud of y'all movement y'all got going on right now. Because, I know I don't have to guess or question the sacrifices and the different things I saw you go through.
Yeah.
And I trust and know that you ain't no bullshit.
That's right.
Well, I mean, this industry is full of bullshitters, right? So to be able to tap into the truth and plug into the truth, why not?
Man, you seen us at the best of times. You seen us at the worst of times. We used to be in Vegas with 50 mugs together, everything. You might have had 60 or 70 with you, and I'm like, damn, he still got me outnumbered. I got 50 with me.
I want to commend you for something that probably no one is giving you credit for, that I've noticed throughout the years. And you say, you're an outstanding father. You see, that side of dad, people might not, but he's always with his sons. You'd be like, he can't. To me, I'm a dad. He knows I'm about to go on my 4th parent. My family is everything.
Yeah.
Nothing goes above the family. Family, health, money's last. We could always scratch a couple pennies together and take it from somebody.
And that brings me up. Go ahead, finish it, because I got the last one.
Okay, it's important. I just wanted to give you your flowers there. Precisely, bro. When we speak about your son and the positioning he's put himself in the music game, but everyone knows, hey, that's old boy. So to me, I just wanted to come in to say, I think one of the greatest titles you hold on this planet is dad. But I want to give you your flowers because as a man, you raising men to be men, right? And I'm pretty sure it's not easy being your son. I'll leave it at that, right? Because you're demanding things, as far as the love, the loyalty, the respect. You ain't raising no liars, and we ain't cheating, we ain't stealing. And I know that I demand so much of my kids, right? Because I realize your kids will never do what you do. They will what you say. They're always watching you.
Yeah.
And they're always going to do. So I just wanted to give you your flowers there. You're an outstanding father.
And I'm going to tie it right into, because it's when you talk about family, we talk about that word that's synonymous with you, or 2 words that's synonymous with you, which is mob ties.
Yeah.
See, I know. See, it's like I'm on the inside, so I know, and I want to expose this to the people so they get a better understanding and stop putting such a negative kind of thing to it. But explain mob ties and how that kind of formulated and what that really means to the Prince family.
Yeah. Well, mob ties was created and came to fruition from my son, James Prince Jr.
Yeah, Junior.
And what people don't understand and what the feds and everybody want to do is make that be something negative, as they wanted to make Murder Inc. be something.
Exactly.
But that's not our meaning and our purpose. You know, Mob Ties is a movement of bosses,
Gotcha.
you know what I mean, together in elevated structure. You know what I mean? We was trying to ignite a movement of mind-like individual entrepreneurs to lead. You know what I mean? That's what this is about all around the world. We
It's
wanted,
powerful.
yeah, we wanted to tie in to bosses all around the world where we can create our own major. You know what I mean? Where we can unite to do things where we don't have to depend on the majors and different
We
people.
lead us without trying to rob and cheat us.
Yeah. Now the thing is, you know, you got federal agents that has a whole different agenda.
Right.
You know what I mean? They like the devil. You know what I mean? And as we work on the light and try to create things of the light, their job is you know what I mean, contaminate.
God is just darkness.
Yeah, real talk.
Man, but that's so real because when you, again, now when he put it that way, Murder Inc., when we told them what Murder Inc. meant and stood for, they didn't believe us. They didn't trust us. They thought we was lying. They said, oh, you just want to be gangsters. No, Murder Inc. It was from Lucky Luciano and all those guys, the Albert Anastasia, the real mafia, and they was all formed together a group called Murder Inc.
Yeah.
When Irv seen that, he went crazy. Because what did that group that formed together do? They made hits.
He's a hitman.
So it was the play on words. We make hits, strips out of. Every time I tell a story, I get goosebumps because that's how real it is for you. Like Irv went crazy. Yo, that's what we do. We fucking make hits. And that was what the name is. And one of our worst days as a record label was when we had to drop that word murder. Because Leo and Russell and Ben Chavis, they all come and saying, no, we got to do this because the feds, this and that. Because it didn't stop nothing. We dropped the word murder to just INC, which is not really, it don't mean nothing. That's why we still back to Murder Inc. because we did that for the feds and it didn't stop nothing. We still went through a whole trial. So it was like, the fuck y'all care? Y'all don't care. And that's why what you say with the mob ties is so important because they want to switch your real meaning of it and put it to their meaning. But they don't know how we talk. They don't know how we move and act and how we, as men, and what it means to us as men, how we move. They just want to put us in one category and that's it.
Yeah, but we're not on the same fraud.
Yeah.
Kill and destroy. That's the same mission Satan got.
That's it. You know, I got more stories with you, but with the feds, because I remember, you know, one of the stories you told me that to me was like, wow, that he was literally on you to take you out.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
And you proved it.
And that's the beauty of it.
You know, you told me that story. Where was you at? You was driving down the road, you said, and it was pitch black, and they in the car with.
They put a hitman on.
Yeah, a federal hitman.
They had 7 or 8 bodies that he killed.
That's how he is his king.
One man.
Yeah. That's how all his kills is in.
People that they put on me. So what you think he wanted to do to me?
That's right.
You know what I mean? So I understand that to be true. And what's so beautiful about it, that they mad about even to this day, is it came to fruition.
Right.
The things I said over a decade ago, that these guys was crooks and they was trying to do this, all of a sudden they proved it and arrested one of them. You know what I mean? But you think they salute me for that? No, they more mad.
You know, in our case, you know what's the crazy shit is? In our case, we had the proof that the agent was lying and everything. The judge said, I'm never putting a federal agent on my stand. So it wouldn't let it come in as evidence.
Yeah.
And we had proof. Shout out Josh Doing. Ask Josh, he'll tell you.
Yeah.
We had proof the agent was lying, everything. We had everything because I had investigators on everybody. Just like you investigate. Yeah. See, when you got resources, you can do a lot of things.
Yeah.
You know, I mentioned that for like Gunna and stuff because they dealing with their situation, and I'm like, they better put that money to use.
Yeah.
And that's to get active and be very active in your situation to protect yourself.
Yeah, because now they're attacking lyrics.
Yes.
So, you know what I mean? Now lyrics are going to be on trial.
Right. Which is, that's out of control.
You know, but the movies won't be on trial. The lyrics of the movies.
That's right.
Footage of the movies, they ain't going to put that on.
They're actors.
So
what you think these rappers are?
Because if that's the case, they should have gave Al Pacino 400 years for 12 years. Was the influence that movie has had on pop culture? Forget about it.
But Jay, before we end, I want to just ask you if you have anything else that you might want to put forward to clear any records up or anything like that, because, you know what I'm saying, like I said, I appreciate you giving me the chance to do this interview. And I know you haven't done anybody else after all these things. Is there anything that maybe you want to just put on the record and clean up before we get off here?
You know what, I say this and I'll be done with it. But you know, I did this last month or so has been a heavy situation. You know what I mean? And it's been more heavy on the family that lost Takeoff, you know, than anybody.
Right.
You know, my things is complaints or whatnot is come after that. You know what I mean? I want to respect that and prioritize that situation like it deserved to be prioritized. But, you know, I just had opportunity to hear some things and witness some things about that situation that I know to be a blatant lie.
Right.
You know, a lot of times if one don't tell the truth, then a lie become the truth. So, you know, I will end this by saying that I can't wait, and I believe wholeheartedly he gonna tell the truth by everything we spoke about. Quavo, man.
Yeah.
You know, let me correct that, man. It's so important for him to let the people know the truth because, you know, people are lying right now. You know what I mean? They're lying about the whole root of the situation. You know what I mean? Almost, and I'm surprised when I hear a person say, oh, you know, I was protecting Takeoff. That's why, you know what I mean, I've done what I done on those individuals. But no protecting Takeoff. You know what I mean? Let's keep this real. You know what I mean? You were wrong about what you done. You was the root of being wrong that caused all of that to happen to Takeoff. You know what I mean? And Quavo know this. You know what I mean? So, you know, my prayer is that the truth come out and they tell the truth.
Right.
You know what I mean? At least where Quavo is concerned. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I love that brother. I love all of them. You know what I mean? Until they show me something different. But, you know, these lies that this individual that was the root of all of this happening, we, you know, we can't protect that lie.
That's right.
You know what I mean? That dude done what he done, and that's the root of everything happening. And I'm done.
Okay. Man, this is a Rap-A-Lot exclusive. Man, I want to again thank you for coming and being on Givin Them The Business. This is Chris Gotti Lorenzo, my partner Don Dinero.
Mr. Money for the Gringo.
And we out, yo. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Givin Them The Business. And we keep bringing these good shit to you. Check the gate.